What's up, everyone? Drunken Irishman here. And today I want to talk about something that is it's pretty near and dear to my heart. It's a topic that I take very seriously, and uh, quite frankly, in today's world, basically, it's a very serious issue, uh, and that's addiction. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, some of the more benign, sex, porn, even gambling. I don't see as being all that serious of an addiction, but that's another topic for another video. I don't really want to get into that right now, because I know that gambling does have very serious consequences, and certainly not solely on the person that is doing the gambling, but friends and especially family members. So I don't necessarily take that lightly, but uh, especially when dealing with, or specifically when dealing with addictions of drugs and alcohol, where quite frankly the physical body is being harmed and hurt, every single time an individual uses. To me, I think that is very serious. I would like to preface this simply by saying, if anybody watched my last video, which at this point not too many people have, but maybe if this video actually reaches some people, which I hope it does, people will go back and watch. And I know I'm going to be criticized, maybe being a hypocrite, being on camera, toasting the camera with a bottle of booze, being drunk off my ass, basically rambling on about just some crazy, stupid shit that I was thinking about that day. I get it. I understand the criticisms, but I'd like to challenge that by saying it doesn't make me a hypocrite because I was drunk on camera and now I want to talk about addiction. That just makes me a player in this game. It makes me a longtime member of this of this party, of this clan, of this group. So with that being said, yeah, truth be told, I am a alcoholic. Currently, I'm an addict. That's kind of the way that I like to label pretty much all addictions. I mean, I don't care if you're doing heroin. I don't care if you're doing cocaine. I don't care if you masturbate 12 times a day. I don't care if you blow all your money at the casino. The fact of the matter is that you're just an addict. It's all pretty much the same thing. I don't care if you get up off your ass and go to the gym 12 times a day. Then you're addicted to working out. I mean, it's all possible. It's just an addiction. So yeah, it's something that I've been struggling with, and that's pretty much the main impetus for starting this channel. Honestly, I mean, I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. Sports, video games, movies, working out, health, fitness. A lot of the things that have helped me with my addictions in the past. But I did kind of want this to hopefully maybe turn into like a platform where people that are struggling could kind of connect and communicate, and hopefully it can lead to maybe helping some people out. Like I said, I've been struggling with this for about 10, 12 years. It's an ongoing battle. What that other video was you witnessing me at the end of like a 3-4 day drinking binge. And I'm thankful to say though that I haven't touched a drink since that day. So it was about 4 or 5 days ago. So that's a start. I've started this journey several times, and I've relapsed and fallen off track several times, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. I also want to say that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm not a drug counselor, I'm not a psychologist. I go to school for psychology. I will be entering into probably my final semester of my undergrad next fall, so I'm no expert. Uh, but in a way, I kind of am, because what what is a psychologist going to tell you about addiction that an addict can't tell you himself? So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. I kind of had like a outline for this video, but of course you click the record button and all things kind of go to shit. So I'll do my best to kind of touch on really what I wanted to touch on with this video. There will be several more, so I'm sure everything that I forget, I'll be posting sooner or later. But this video, I really just want to talk about, my idea, my version of, like where you should start, where you should start your rehab, where you should start your, rehabilitation, your, where should the journey begin on cleaning up and stopping your use and trying to get this shit on track. And I guess for me it's kind of twofold. The big one that I think everybody knows, that everybody always says, is basically just stop lying. That's twofold though. There's lying to other people, which becomes like a symptom almost of addiction, especially with the harder drugs, because they cost a lot of money, they're not readily available. People usually gotta lie, cheat, steal to get money to afford their next fix. And then there's a whole other slew of lies that, are incorporated in that. But the big one is stop lying to yourself, which, is a form of denial. You're denying the fact that you even have a problem. You're denying the fact that your problem has gotten as bad as it has. You lie to yourself about all sorts of things. And when it comes to lying to yourself, I think there's kind of like, there's like two different versions, and it usually depends on where you are kind of in your addiction. I think that when the addictions first start off, the lie is always, well, this is just a phase. I'm gonna quit. This isn't gonna take me over. I'm young. I'm just partying. I'm just having fun. All that stupid shit. Which, to a large extent, probably you started whatever you were doing under those pretenses. Yeah, I went to a party and somebody had this thing and they gave it to me, and wow, I really liked it. And then 2 months down the road, you went from using that thing at that one party to using it every week to using it twice a week, and now you're getting fucked up 3-4 times a week, and that's just the beginning, because eventually it's 3-4 times a fucking day, that's when you're 2-3 years down the road, but it's that mentality, that denial of, this, I'm not going to let this affect me, you let it fuck you up, but no, that's not me, and shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. If you are somebody and you are using any substance, I would say about 3+ times a week, and it's been going on for a week, but let's broaden it to 2-3 weeks. Shut the fuck up and go talk to somebody. And don't go talk to a psychologist, don't go talk to a doctor, don't go talk to some counselor, because they don't fucking probably know shit about what you're really thinking and what what's really going on with you. Go find somebody, go to an AA meeting, go find a real person that has been struggling with this, and let them tell you how wrong you are, and let several people tell you how wrong you are. And don't be combative, don't be contentious, don't take it as an insult, don't take it as a challenge that, oh no, I'm just going to keep on doing this and I'm going to prove you wrong. No, don't. Just listen to what they're saying, because if it happened to them, not only could it, but it will. The statistics, I don't have them in front of me, but I'm sure they're astounding. It will happen to you. So just go talk to somebody. And then the other form of denial that perpetuates it is I think the denial that comes along with, you know, having kind of been in the game, so to speak, for a long time. And that is, especially when people quit, then it becomes, well, I quit, I've been sober for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year. I can control it. I can go back. I can dabble a little bit. I can go have fun this weekend with it. No, you can't. And this is me speaking from experience. Yeah, I was that first person, but that was so long ago. But for the past 2, 3 years, that's been me. You know, whether it's a week sober, which I've done several times, 3 weeks sober that I've done several times, 3 months sober that I've done a few times. Every time, well, it's St. Patrick's Day this year. I've been sober for 3 months. So if I just enjoy St. Patrick's Day this year, then I won't drink for another week after that, or then I'll go do another 3 months. Ha 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 ha! Bullshit. Never fucking happens. I might get drunk on St. Patrick's Day on a Thursday or whatever the hell it is, and on Friday, and Friday I might be so hungover that I don't drink. But then on Saturday I found another fucking excuse to drink. And then maybe I do go a whole week. I'm like, I went a whole week. I drank 2 times in 1 week, and then I went another week, and I must have this all figured out. I'm in the clear. So the next Friday comes along. All right, well, I'm just going to do what I did last week. And then 5 fucking days later, I haven't been sober 1 fucking time. And I'm not going to work, and I feel like shit, and I haven't been working out, and my diet's gone to shit, and my mind's all fucked up, and I can't even create a clear thought, and I'm sweating in my ass off in the middle of the night, barely able to sleep because I'm withdrawing because I've just been pounding booze for 5 fucking days. Yeah, it sucks. And it always starts with, I can control this. And you can't. And if you're one of these people, go find somebody. I mean, at this point, like, you might need to go talk to a healthcare professional or a counselor or a psychologist, because chances are your life at this point is so fucked up, and you have so much shit to unravel, and you have so much shit that you need to just even start to consider, that it's hard and it gets overwhelming. And not only did your drinking and your drug use probably start from some underlying issue, but now you've probably created a whole slew of issues, due to your past year, 2 years, 10 years of drug and alcohol use. And, talking to somebody real, talking to a real person, talking to an addict that's been clean for 10 years, that was at the same point that you were, absolutely beneficial. But, I am a psych major, so I do see the benefits in psychology and seeing a psychologist, and really kind of delving into your thoughts, your underlying thoughts, your maladaptive ways of thinking, your maladaptive behaviors, your overuse, I'm sure, of defense mechanisms. I mean, there's a lot to unravel, and there's probably a lot to get to, and quite frankly, sometimes some people like talking to healthcare professionals because they don't know them, and so they can kind of tend to be a little bit more candid, and that's what you need to do, because like I said at first, you need to stop lying to yourself, and you need to stop lying to other people. And sometimes it's hard to stop lying to the people that you have just spent however long lying to. So you need to go to somebody fresh and new that doesn't know a lick about you, so that you can finally be honest for your first time. So that's the first 2. Probably be another video on that, or that's actually the first 1. Stop lying, whether it's to yourself or others. And then step 2, and this one is quite frankly the hardest and the easiest all at the same time. It's the hardest because it is basically, stop what you're doing, stop the way that you've been living for however long that you've been living, and simply do something different. That's what it is. Do something different. And in some cases, that might just be do something, whereas, like I said, it might just be do nothing, stop using. Lock yourself in a fucking room for 3 days. Stop using. Go through hell, and flush shit out of your body, and and maybe try to develop a new outlook on life. But it's a lot more than that. So like, do something differently. If you're in this position, if you're an addict, if your life is completely shit and hell, and you've deteriorated to next to nothing, then obviously whatever the hell it is that you've been doing isn't working. So you need to do something different. And there's a lot of different approaches to this, but I think the most practical approach is just start with the smallest thing. So obviously, clearly, the first thing is just stop the use, unless it's like severe alcohol use, and you need to, either get medical attention or you need to taper off slowly because you've been doing it for 30 fucking years and the withdrawal symptoms might kill you. Other than that, just stop what you're doing. But then you need to start, then rehab really starts. So what is rehab? Rehabilitation, fixing, healing, changing, trying to start to figure things out. And the first thing that I always did, and if you happen to come across Jordan Peterson, a guy that I've been listening to a lot lately, bought his book. I'm very fond of him. I think he's a brilliant man. He talks about just cleaning your room. And it's so simple and it makes so much sense. And even before I even talked to Jordan, I wish, Jordan, if you want to talk, let me know. Even before I knew anything about him. And I was struggling with my addictions, and I was trying to, clean myself up, and I was trying to stop my use. Every time I decide, okay, I'm going to stop my use, like the first thing I would do is I would clean my room. At the time I was fucking living at my parents' house. Obviously, I was a fucking absolute loser. I had nothing to my name. I didn't own anything, whatever. I had this shitty little room. But it could be made a whole hell of a lot less shitty if I just got off my ass and actually did something and cleaned it and put it in order and learned some organization and learned some discipline and, learned some self-control. And then, quite frankly, one of the reasons why we use is because we have found ourselves, we have kind of in a way transplanted ourselves into a world that is so uncomfortable and is so... It's just a world that, like, who the fuck would want to be here? Who wants to, have no job? Who wants to be strung out? Who wants to feel like shit all the time? Who wants to have to lie and cheat and steal and hurt the people that we love most? Just because we can't say no, we can't stop. And so when you find yourself in that place, well, of course you're going to use, because the easiest way to get out of that place is to use. I mean, it makes sense. Addiction, I hate to say it, it makes sense, right? I mean, life sucks. Life is hard, okay? Life is something that you need to manage, oftentimes on the micro level, from moment to moment. And those little micro managings, if you would, they get hard, they get stressful. So how do we relieve ourselves from them? We just relieve ourselves from them. We go out and use. It's quick, it's easy, but you know what? Then it just adds on, it piles on, and then that's where all of a sudden the life that has been created by this addiction becomes unbearable. So you need to just start with the smallest thing, which could be cleaning your room, cleaning your apartment, cleaning yourself, start going to bed on time, go out and actually have a decent meal for once. Drink a bunch of water. I'm sure all of these things that everybody neglects when they're using. They're certainly not thinking about sleep. Most likely they're not thinking about food and how they're eating. I damn well guarantee you that they're not thinking about how much water they're putting into their body. And certainly they're not thinking about exercise. And these are all fundamental aspects of life and health. Mental health, physical health, the whole fucking gambit. It's sleep, nutrition, exercise. Vital. And just so everybody knows, I like to work out. I'm a big dude, okay? So once again, I'm never going to preach to you anything that I don't know myself. I've been a drunk where I'm drunk off my ass for, 3 weeks at a time. And I've also, been to the gym and worked out 19 days in a row and, counted all my calories, watched everything that I was eating. I'm a total Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I can be one way for a month and I can be the total opposite the next month, which is kind of scary and probably another topic for another video. But anyways, 20 fucking minutes. I think I've rambled on long enough. Probably nobody's going to watch this, but, stop lying to yourself, certainly, and stop lying to others. Just stop being a shitty person, but mainly stop lying to yourself, and then do something differently. Just get out and do something. Tackle one issue, one aspect of it. Just start with one thing. All right. So this is the video that I hope most people watch. This is the video that I hope most people might subscribe to this channel for. So if you are an addict, if you are somebody struggling with something, please subscribe. Please comment. If you're not, but you know somebody, please subscribe. Please comment. Please tell that person to watch this video. I don't know what this is going to become. It's only going to become anything based on how many people see this. I'll continue to make these videos. I'm going to continue to push forward with my sobriety and my rehab, and I just hope that people could come along and do it with me, and let's try to tackle this issue, because you can't do it by yourself. But a lot of times people aren't going to reach out to these AA meetings, and people can't afford or not going to check themselves into a 90-day rehab facility, and even then it doesn't make any fucking difference. I've seen that shit fail so many fucking times. Watch Intervention, Jesus Christ. People pay thousands of dollars, I'm sure, just to, spend 90 days in a fucking hotel, getting fed food, going to fucking stupid classes. They're probably not stupid, but they're nothing that you can't figure out in 5 fucking minutes talking to somebody that's already been through it. So go out, seek help, come here, get help, help me, help you. Let's just try to tackle this addiction thing, man, because I lost a buddy last year. I lost a fucking other buddy the year before that. Like, I'm done losing people, man. And I'm not ready to lose myself. So stay good, people.